give thanks.
Hello, Mercs of Mischief. Welcome to our penultimate episode of Those Lost, a 5e homebrew gothic horror adventure. I'm Kai, your Dungeon Bartholomew Master, and joining me are our incredible party adventurers. We're going to go around, we're going to do some quick introductions, and then we will be on our way, beginning with Jade.
Hi, I am Jade. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Kaja, who is a now confirmed Aasimar cleric, and she also uses she, they pronouns.
Awesome. Next.
We lost you, audio, but next we're going to go over to Gabbro. Gabbro, introduce yourself. Oh, we lost you as well.
Oh, shit. I'm Gabbro. I'm awesome. That's okay. I could fix that one. And I'm Gabbro. I am also Puck. I am he, him, and I'm a paladin, and I'm an Earth Genasi, and I'm a rascal.
Are you though?
I mean, one word for it.
Sorry about that. Quick technical difficulty. We're gonna bounce it over to Jonathan.
I am Jonathan, he, him. I play Bevan here, who's also he, him. And I'm learning things about Bevan, as we all are together. So stick with us, because we might learn some more things about Bevan today if it goes the way I think.
It's learning real good.
I'm pulling for you, bud.
Yeah.
Next is Arcady.
Hello, I'm Arcady. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Pell, who uses she, they pronouns. And have we can I say what she is yet? Have we said she's a sorcerer?
She's a sorcerer.
She's a changeling. If you hadn't picked up on changeling, she's a little sorcerer changeling, and she's just happy to be here.
You're a sorcerer?
I know, it's
meta magic, kind of, yeah.
I'm going to use my sorcery points. Whoops.
And Saber.
Hey everybody, I play Cypher, he, they, my pronouns are they, he, and I'm so excited that we're sharing some things about class and race. I just love this makeup. This is a multi-class that I've always wanted to do. Started off as rogue, and then due to some backstory stuff, found the God of Death and did some Death Domain cleric-y things. So I'm excited to do some more spells today. I'm doing a new one that I've never done before, so help me out, DM. But yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Always love to be here. Thank you.
I had to do that thing where I'm like, oh wait, rogue or rouge.
And I'm Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns, and I'll be playing all of these ghost people in the domain of the Hollow. Before we get back into our story, we're going to talk a little bit about our lovely tip system that will help not only our players, but also me. The players all have these lovely tokens in the corner of their little screens that have numbers on them. Those numbers indicate how many tokens they have, obviously. Each token is worth an advantage roll on any skill check or save. Any D20 roll, they can roll with advantage if they spend one token. But if they do not want to put it to chance at all, they can buy a flashback. And what that means is they are able to automatically succeed on the check instead. But in exchange, not only do they spend 5 tokens, but they have to tell us the story as to what they did in their past that allows them to automatically succeed in the present. Now, all of that is wonderful, and we love to see our players succeed, even when it thwarts my maniacal plans. But there's a little bit extra spice in there for me if you all work together and we accumulate a certain amount. So we have our lovely chaos meter, and what that means is that if the chaos meter fills, something chaotic will happen, either to the benefit or detriment of the party. It is up to both a dice roll and maybe a few little inputs from yours truly. But either way, the party gets information or an item or an encounter that benefits them or holds them up a little bit, but hopefully still teaches them something. So, with all of that said, we're going to do one big old recap from our party before we jump back into our story.
Real quick, just to confirm, our coin count right now, Gabbro has 5. I have 3. Everybody else has 0. Does that sound right to everyone?
Yeah. We've done some good flashbacks up to this point.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I did have somebody message me and said that they had donated, but I didn't see any coins change, so I don't know.
When was this?
Before last week's session.
Yeah,
Okay.
11 days ago, one for Cypher to do cool shit. 14 days ago, coin for Pel, Kaja, and Cypher. So in that case, if there hasn't been any that we expended, then 2 for Cypher, 1 for Pel, and 1 for Kaja.
Yeah, because everyone was at 5 for a very long time.
Okay.
I'll take
All right.
it.
So what happened last week?
Yeah, so previously on your adventure into the Hollow, what have you all been up to?
My notes just have the name Palomina Bergstrom. I'm so glad I took great notes about who that is.
Amazing. It's almost like that you could have just asked.
Right?
It's an important note.
It is an important note. Yeah, that's Pel's full name, which comes up occasionally. But yeah, I think she gave it when we came across the lone watchtower, guard tower, and met a wooden person whose name is Thatch. And Thatch's giant dog named, I did write it down, Circo. Very important. Big, huge, giant dog. And they seem nice and genuinely helpful. And they've offered us a place to stay for the night while we are journeying toward Isa.
Yes.
And no one did anything snoopy or thief-like in any way for the rest of the session, right?
Well,
Not at all.
did you maybe, Kaja, do you want to maybe shed some light on any shady or thief-like things that might have happened?
Yeah, so as we got there, then Kaja was like, hey guys, I'm gonna go up to the watchtower real quick and I'm gonna borrow a cipher for a sec. Don't worry about it. Nothing completely shady going on. And she cast a scrying spell to see a very important person that or being from her past if they were around. They're very close. Actually, very, very close to the party. So yikes. And they're also a demon. Yeah, demon. Demon. And the demon made her parents kill people and then killed her parents. So that's why she's scarred. Because most adventurers don't have alive parents. Pel is very fortunate.
Yep.
Normal people do not become adventurers.
Hell, always
know what you're
lording her
talking
living
about.
parents over everybody.
Am I the only one with living parents here?
I don't know. I might have an abandoned family.
I
It's
mean,
kind of
well,
big.
No, I've got living parents. Your parents are my parents.
Your parents are alive?
For all intents and purposes. But
Maybe.
yeah, Bevan did get some information from Thatch that apparently the shadows, the living shadows, are somehow a manifestation of the ghosts in this area, the hauntings. And so he began to have some questions about the shadow that took him in and led him and Pel out of the hollow when he was young. And that answer came in sort of a feeling that points him towards the city. And it's all real vague and unsettling. But, that's the character I made. inadvertently. So here we are.
And Bevan also is the one person that saw that there is no shortage of ghosts in this area.
Yeah, the ghosts are all here. They're all here. Like all of them. From like everybody who's died in the last 200 years seems to just be here. It's thick. It's like Times Square on New Year's Eve, but ghosts. Except for the ones
Less drunk Santas and more just ghosts.
Except for the ones who are somehow balls of light, and can't quite tell what separates one from the other, except maybe. Yeah, I don't know. He's not a ghost expert.
Oh, and then after the can people hear me?
You're very low.
Okay. How about now?
Much
Cool.
better.
Yeah, after the scrying incident and Kaja having an existential crisis, they grabbed a bow, and the bow was not trapped, luckily, although she was kind of being an asshole about it. And it's a blue dragon bow that might have some lightning properties, and it's sitting in the room where she's sleeping, ideally for Bevan. And they were promised that they could probably look at some other cool items in this tower of formerly really cool people who had really awesome weapons, who are now mostly dead.
Yeah, we found a murdering dagger in the other room.
And a pair of boots. And a blue cloak.
You found a lot of things that I couldn't find because I decided not to go walking around as
The only
The one
person who
tribe.
didn't go shoplifting today.
We did not steal.
We looked.
We
We
left.
looked
Sorry.
with our hands held
Sorry.
nicely behind our backs.
I
And
just
then you slept.
touched it
Yes.
first.
right. My character got to sleep and I was actually like really disappointed after the session. I was like, I wanted another nightmare. What are you doing? Why are you scared?
You shouldn't have let the curse be removed then.
Right? Silly
Don't worry.
character.
There's plenty of nightmares in store.
I'm sure you'll get
Great segue.
recursed at any moment.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else before we get back into it?
No.
No? All right.
Found a
Then
beautiful bastion against the fury of water. And
I'm gonna
this is
do-
nice, and Woodman is cool, and that's fine.
yeah, and you and he can agree that things that are related to the earth, if not the earth itself, are great because Thatch definitely worships Sylvanas, which is like worshiping the earth just through a proxy, right? Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also Gabbro said like, "Hey, when I'm done here, can I just come shack up with you, Thatch?" Thatch was into it.
Thatch is cool. Thatch
I
is
ship it.
cool.
That's just
Agree.
cool. Rockman and Woodman.
Rockman and Woodman and their dog,
I love
who
that.
is also person-sized.
There's a sticks and stones joke there.
Hey-o.
Yes, many, and they
That's
will
the name of their
break
sitcom.
bones.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones.
Sticks and stones.
Yes.
Spin off.
That's it. That's the show. That's the rest of the show, guys. Sorry, you're never gonna get to Isa because sticks and stones.
Last time on Sticks and Stones.
Oh my god. Poor Cypher is trapped as the straight man in that comedy, and that seems really unfortunate.
But Saber loves it.
Yes. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to give one little check-in because I got a lovely note from one of our players about something before going to bed, I believe. So I'm going to just bring us in and do a little check-in before everyone fully goes to sleep for their long rest. I know you guys actually did, but we're going to fudge it a little bit because it's cool and we can. So the dull lights that just dance in the very soupy thick fog over the damp moors still move and become almost the only light as the stars disappear behind the clouds and the moon vanishes behind the mountains. Thatch's watchtower goes to bed. Thatch himself going stationary downstairs next to Haver, who is doing much the same, staring into the fire. Circo, the dog, sits watchfully by the front door, but the ground is doubly hollowed, and it seems very unlikely that the ghosts can disobey the demands of Helm and Sylvanas. The party has found places to rest in beds once occupied by great adventurers and friends of Thatch, long gone. Some driven into the fog, searching for a way home. Some, while not spoken of, succumb to other illnesses of the night. The air is quiet and still, unlike your previous night in Devlin's abode. There is a calmness here, instead of the restlessness of Gorodzaria, a place full of ghosts that hunger for sleep. Cypher. Are you looking to reach out tonight or in the morning? You are muted, my darling.
Thing looks good on my end.
There you are.
Now we can hear you.
In the morning.
Okay. Then, unless anyone else has any business they'd like to accomplish, sleep comes to you all, peacefully and watched over by both Haver and Thatch, and of course, Circo, who is really the best guard in this watchtower. Morning is tricky here. The sun, as with most places in the Hollow, you have learned, doesn't really rise so much as the clouds become a little lighter, less black and more gray. But with the morning, those of you with windows, which those who are in the second story rooms do have them, can see the shape of the great city at the top of the hill, masked only by fog, but you can see its silhouette. What do you all do?
I rise.
Yeah. You've made a lovely spot to plant a tree.
Excellent. Woodman will be pleased.
I guess stare out the window at the city until Pell wakes up.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you sleep?
Yeah. Slept
Great.
good, actually.
Yeah, same. It's nice. And anything interesting out the window?
He just points and kind of moves to the side a little so she can see. Can see it a little better now.
Oh yeah, we're not really that far.
Up the hill, great walls, large geometric shapes in the fog, bring about the form of a large citadeled city, as described by Thatch the night before. At the very top, there are multiple spires reaching towards the sky, deep into the clouds, and the very peak of some of them fully engulfed in cloud.
I bet it's haunted.
Oh, definitely haunted.
Man, at this point it'd be weird if it wasn't.
Uh-huh. I mean, well, maybe it is haunted then. Maybe it's not haunted then, because everything here is weird. So maybe there's no one there.
That's a good theory.
I don't think it is, actually.
No.
Do you want to go find the others? See if Thatch will let us, to have some nice things?
Yeah. Yeah. Might as well get moving. I think specifically I want to go down and see, like, what's Haver? What's his condition like at this point?
We'll get the chance to
Okay.
find out very quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Gabbro, when you wake up, you immediately draw the attention of the sentinel of the tower. Circo comes darting out the front door, the double top and bottom door, the bottom having been unlatched enough that he could pry his way out and run into the yard. He comes out and then sees that it's you and quiets himself and comes over and sniffs up and down your leg, kind of noses in the dirt a little. You're fine.
Knees
It's
bent,
fine.
arms out, run up to the dog. Big hug, doggy wrestle.
We love a doggy wrestle, and he is in heaven. His tail is wagging all over the place. His tail's getting full of the wet earth. And you gather that this is perfect for him, and he is a dog actually close to a equivalent size to a normal dog for you, because you are quite large.
You are an excellent guard dog. You are the goodest boy.
Meanwhile, Cypher and I think Cypher, you were alone downstairs because I believe Kaja was in Thatch's room upstairs.
I
So
was alone, definitely. Though I wake up
Cypher,
to that. Actually, as soon as I opened my eyes, I see that I had laid my skull staff facing me when I fell asleep and spooked myself a bit. Try to cover that up quickly and sit up, see that all happen and completely ignore it. I head upstairs to see if Kaja is up for talking. I will stand outside her door, not knocking, but listening to see if I can hear anything inside.
that's not creepy at all.
I'm not creepy.
That's probably fine.
I think Kaja probably took her time getting ready this morning, but her plan is eventually to find Thatch to also see what other cool stuff he has. But yeah, she's taking her time, probably just like humming to herself, braiding and unbraiding her hair because that's what she does at nighttime. So definitely making noise if that's what you're looking for.
There you go.
I hear the humming and interpret that as good mood and knock.
Yeah?
It's Cypher. May I come in?
Mhm.
I open the door. Good morning.
Yeah, morning to you too.
How are
I
you
trust
feeling?
that the bottom half was fine and no one died in like how many hours has it been? 8, 10 hours?
Yes, I believe everyone's still as alive as they were when they fell asleep.
Yeah, you know what? I need to start rewording my question when I ask if everyone's alive.
You know, I think the two of us are probably the only ones that really pay attention to that language, but I had mentioned last night that I might need your help with a spell. And I'd like to do that, you know, roughly just before we leave,
Okay.
as close to us leaving as possible.
Okay.
How long do you think to get this ragtag group of people ready this morning, do you think?
Let's see. I would guess that Gabbro got up as soon as there was light outside and probably is dirty, so would need to clean up a little bit if we asked. Haver will always be just ready in there. And the other two, I mean, hunters, they also get up pretty early. So let's assume everyone's awake. They are adults. And we can always, you know, have the awesomest bribe of cool weapons. That really gets everybody going nowadays, I think. So probably an hour just to make sure that we get everything in order, everyone gets what they need, and if there's any attunements, etc. I don't know how long that usually takes.
Sure. If the spell works correctly, we should have information about our next course of action within 30 minutes time after that spell is cast. So perhaps I'll go up to the watchtower and I'll get the spell set up. You can meet me there after you tell the others to start getting themselves ready and getting the weapons that they might acquire.
Indeed,
If that works.
you not wanting a weapon.
I mean, sure. I mean, cool things are cool. I don't know.
You want like a cool dagger, like a long
He pulls out his like squiggly dagger. Like, look at my cool dagger.
a cool dagger. Oh,
Well,
I don't know.
I'm
maybe
not going to be
in
offended.
the mood for a short sword. I don't know what you. I'll look for something cool and stabby if that's what you want.
Sure. I think you know me well enough. I turned down a lightning dragon bow, so I'm not super into things. I'm more into darkness, whatever that means.
I'm so sorry. That was just probably one of the edgiest things I've heard you say in a minute.
Cypher doesn't pull his bangs over one eye more.
It's fine. It's fine. The best we can do in these situations is laugh. Otherwise, we're going to be constantly afraid of the fact that there are just thousands of ghost devils, undead, and potentially everybody here is connected to this misery. So laughing is all we can do at the moment.
When you say fear and then the word we, I wonder if I actually do belong in this group at all, because I have loved every second of this travel journey that we've been on.
And that's why you belong here, because while we are still probably, aware of our own mortalities or remortalities, we all decided to come here. So how afraid are we? How excited are we to be here? We have our reasons for being here.
I mean, I think some might argue that anticipation, agitation, anxiety lives in between fear and excitement, no?
Mm-hmm. So for me, it ranges as a sliding scale depending on the time of day and the locale, because that swamp, absolutely not. But here, it's pretty good.
Fair enough.
But I will go find the others and find you a stabby thing, and hopefully I can find a blunt force object of some type. And I'll meet you back in a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds great.
I'm heading down.
Wonderful. Cypher, on your way upstairs, you did see Thatch kind of working over the fire, which you realize is kind of dangerous because he is made of wood.
No.
Lots of wood. He uses a lot of iron tools, but he has put a pot on for hot water this morning. And as everyone stirs and finds their way, they see not only Thatch working over the fire safely, but Haver helping.
Does Haver seem like more alive?
Haver seems, you know what, go ahead and roll an insight check.
How many days has it been?
Is there a smell?
I mean,
That's a 4.
Haver is hungry?
Huh. It's weird. He didn't seem hungry before.
Interesting. I will also be heading down at this moment, but I would like to retract, widen back. I'd grab the bow while I'm on my way out.
Yeah, of course.
Just so that's clear.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
didn't say I grabbed the bow, but I'm strutting down, bow in hand. Good morning.
Morning.
Bevan, that is a beautiful bow.
I chitter over to Pell. She didn't have a bow before, did she?
No, she's been hitting things.
Yeah.
You could ask about it. I know you want to ask about it, so you should totally ask about it.
It doesn't seem like it. And I'll turn to
that's
help
a really
with
nice
breakfast.
bow, Kaja.
Is that's what the chittering was about it was about the bow, wasn't it?
It was about the bow. Yeah.
Yeah. I figured. I just you can just say what's up with the bow, Kaja. It's
Well,
okay.
we couldn't remember if you came in with it or not. And
Yeah,
we were
I
just
didn't know if you were
checking.
Maybe it's one of those collapsible jobs that was in your bag. Are you an archer?
Oh no. I could, but it'd just be utterly horrible, especially with can you imagine trying to have a shield and a bow?
Also, that bow has got quite a pull on it. Even I struggle with it sometimes.
Okay, and now Kaja wants to try and pull the bow. Can she pull the bow?
She can. It's just one of those things that you feel the draw on it. And first of all, you're not proficient with bows, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want her to be.
Yeah, great. Bows are hard. Bevan works really hard, actually.
Dude,
She can
drop
feel
your
the
shoulder.
tension of the ball. And doing this multiple times in a row sounds exhausting. And there's a reason why you call upon other abilities in combat.
Kaja is very strong, though, I will say.
Oh, yeah. It's a heavy bow.
It's just
and
a heavy
archery is
bow.
hard.
You got to get the delts, really. You know, you've never seen Ben with his shirt off, but his back is ripped.
It's fair. I will say, Kaja, go ahead and roll an Arcana check as you draw this bow.
Oh, no. Okay, that is a 13 plus 6, 19.
Beautiful. You draw the bow, and there's something. You knew that this bow had some sort of electrical ability. When you draw it, it's like it's dragging friction through the air, and you can feel it pulling electricity out of thin air. And as you draw it back, you see beginning to form in the bow, there's no arrow in it. In the bow, a cylinder of lightning begins to form for just a moment. And you can see that this would form if you were to reach into the abilities of this bow further.
Maybe we shouldn't be doing this in the house.
Yeah, careful. That's
Yeah,
very dangerous.
you're right. I have been recently very out of sorts, brain-wise. But I do think that this could, if you're still okay with what we discussed earlier, Thatch, this could belong to our friend, and she'll hand it over.
Yes. That belonged to my friend Kerrigan. And she would want it to go to good instead of sitting up there testing the weather. It's a family bow, so take good care of it.
Bevan takes it like gingerly, like reverently. What about? Do you know where the family is?
She's from Hull somewhere. I'm not really sure.
What's the family name?
Ostroff? I think she's from the Southlands, if that helps any.
Could always employ private investigator with the lots of gold we will be given if we return.
It helps she was a gold dragonborn.
Okay.
If not, then I can also fund the venture to give it back.
Yes, thank you. I'm honored to carry this, and assuming we make it out of here, I'll see it returned to its rightful owners.
That would be much appreciated. She's resting out in the garden now, but I think she'd much rather see that bow go home. And while you're at it, I've got some other things I'd love for you to take with you, if you don't mind, and if you could find a home for them after.
Not to look too excited.
It would give me some peace. And Thatch goes upstairs and returns with the boots that you both, Bevan and Pell, saw in your room, the blue cloak, the creepy dagger,
Big thing.
and a mirror that was in the room just outside of both of the rooms that Kaja, Pell, and Bevan slept in last night, where the armor stand was. A thin mirror as well. Well, I haven't been using these much, and you see he's kind of caressing some of these items. They were put in places of function, but the mirror itself was placed in a place of higher respect than that, where anyone who entered that space would see. And those of you who are used to homes that have mirrors and decorations, it would feel very normal that there was a mirror there, but it was with armor, and it's just a small silver-handled mirror, so it's not like you could use it to dress yourself with the armor. These, this, and he holds out the blue cloak. This was Alana's. She and Kerrigan were very close. And it should keep you safe, and I feel like it might help you on your journey. And he holds it out to Pell.
Oh. I mean, I already have a cloak that keeps me safe, but...
Well then, maybe you. And he holds it to Kaja.
I mean, I will take anything given. I am not really picky about these things, so I don't see why not.
The dagger, I think I think that Cypher might do the best with this. I did see that they're well equipped, but it has a bit of an edge to it for those of the fighting persuasion.
Yes, I believe at least the vibe that I got was very stabby. Something's very stabby, and this is very stabby, so.
It does have a light curse on it, but I don't think it affects the user, if that helps any.
Okay. Yeah, and then I could definitely study it further on my own time, but thank you.
I'd recommend it.
All right.
Farland left it with a bit of skepticism about how helpful it would be, but it hasn't done anything bad to me, and I've used it a bit. These boots, they were sort of a redundancy. The tower's toll, but they will help you fly if any of you are so inclined to getting off the ground a bit.
Pell lights up at that. I could use new boots. I mean, I got a cloak and it was very nice to offer, but... And I, lift up my little skirts and my boots are, slouchy, horribly muddy.
Here, I think these might do you good. It'll keep you out of the mud.
Thanks. And I'll pull off my slouchy boots, put them in my pack, and slip on the... I think I know what they are, so I, click my heels and hover a little.
Yeah, they are... So The bow, the boots. I think all of these items require attunement. Oh, the dagger does not. The cloak, the boots, and the bow all require attunement, and we will get to that when you guys have a moment to attune. Thatch holds the mirror a little bit closer. This you might just want to use and leave here. It can be a bit finicky, but I thought it might help you on your journey. Maybe if just to make it worth your while that you came this far. Yeah. It'll show you a glimpse of time. Your time. Whoever's looking. But it can only do it once a day. And to be honest, I've looked at it quite a bit. Most of it's me just playing with Sarko and tending the garden.
Your time? Like
Yeah.
the past?
Yeah.
The future?
I think it's just the past, but again, it's a lot of me playing with Sarko. I'm not really sure.
No one else is interested. I would like to at least use it a couple of times. This is not an ownership thing. I'm happily would share with any one of you.
You said it can only work once a day.
Last I checked, yes.
You said your friend's resting out in the garden. Is she resting on the hollowed ground? Can people be laid to rest?
It's as close as you'll get out here. Kerrigan and Alana are both out there.
Excuse me, please. Bevan's gonna go out to the garden and peek into the ethereal.
Cool, yeah. There are no ghosts on the grounds of the garden. The only ghost you see, if Gabro's still out there playing with Serco, there is a large Goliath woman in plate armor just hanging out.
Nice.
That's my pal.
I just got
In
if
fact,
she
her hand is like permanently attached to the mace that is wherever Gabro stores it. She's like awkwardly holding it.
It's like on
Nice.
his belt.
yeah, if she looks in my direction, I'll give her a cordial nod. And I'll look. Does anything look like grave markers?
Yes, there are quite a few grave markers out in the garden.
I'm gonna try to find her grave and just say a word of thanks.
It's not difficult. Specifically, there are some graves that you see are unmarked, but as you get closer to the watchtower, the stones and sticks that make these headstones become a little bit more ornate and cared for, a little more personal. And what was just soldiers that had fallen on the field became the gravesites of friends that had laid to rest there. And Kerrigan's reads in gold leaves that have been handmade, actually dipped in gold leaves, with her name spelled out in Draconic.
Yes, and this must be you. I'm sorry for whatever happened here. I'm gonna take this home for you. I hope you don't mind me using it a bit in the meantime. Your friend seems to be doing well. Thank you. Hope you're resting. Awkwardly walks away.
Good for Bevan. The mirror. It sounded like Kaja was going to use it.
Yeah, but she's hesitant, so if anyone wants it way more, then she'll definitely fold. But no one else wants it. She would like it.
I mostly know what's in my past. I really only have like a day or so that's missing. And what are the chances the mirror would show me one day in like, what's 15 times 365? Because that's like a lot.
That's
So
a lot.
I probably don't need it ever.
Bevan wants it so bad, but that's why he left. Because there's no way he's going to ask for it after getting a magic bow.
Gabbro's outside, knows nothing of any of this.
Yeah. Gabbro gets to play with a dog. That's like having a magical item, right?
He already has a magic mace. What does he need?
After I say that I don't want it though. Bevan doesn't remember a lot more than just a day or two, though.
And Kaja hands it to Pal.
Sure.
Mine was to see if I could relive some memories that I kind of remember, but I had the luxury of remembering many days. It would be remiss for me to be so selfish.
Well, they said we could use it once a day, so
There's always tomorrow for me.
thank you, Kaja. It means a lot. And I'll like skip out in my new boots, a little skippier because they're new.
Griffin.
And
Before you run out to
Bevan.
we're going to hop up to the top of the tower and check in with Cypher. Cypher, the wind off of the bog is acrid, horrible, but it's damp.
Perfect. Also, Kaja would be heading up to Cypher by now.
Okay.
I look around the space and remember Kaja and the ritual and how it moved me. I sit on the wood floor?
Stone.
And as close to the center as possible, take out a small pouch, bag, it's hard to tell, and it unfolds, and inside is a deck of cards. Designed on the inside of the bag is a kind of sigil, and I lay cards down in spaces allotted on it. I speak in a lowish tone, in a language most might not understand, thinking that Kaja could be coming soon, but I want it to be as prepared as possible. It's funny, I also recall after seeing Thatch having a moment of maybe wanting to join the party, and it flashes as uncomfortable, feeling like I want to be with others. And it makes me look behind me and hope to see Kaja there.
As if on cue.
Oh, good.
So, one, stabby thing as ordered, and here it is.
I take it, and for all the notes that I didn't take well, I think I took this one well. It had a hook in it,
Yes,
a divot.
It does.
Single sawtooth like a barb for rending flesh.
Correct.
Ah. This
And
is
is extremely well made.
quite
Very-
beautiful.
And it's very nice and make many things. It's a little bit cursed,
Oh, good.
but not as
Do
in
you
like
know
if
what
you use
kind
it.
of curse?
See, that's what the thing is that I was planning on giving it away, like, you know, a little look over. But obviously, what you would like to do is much more important.
Oh, sure. Yes. Yeah, I want to know more before I
Use
do anything with it, for sure. What else did you find?
Let's see. Gave the blue dragon bow to Bevan.
Oh, good. How did he react?
They couldn't remember if I ever did any archery in this entire trip, which I thought was pretty funny. A little sad, but also flattering to think that I can do anything with a bow. But that's quite funny. Let's see. There also was there are boots. There are boots that could help someone fly. Hell has those. There was a mirror that showed your past. Seems like it doesn't really choose.
What?
And but
Explain
only
that
works.
again.
Yeah, it's a mirror that you look into it, and it shows you your life or past, I suppose. They weren't really clear on how exactly it worked, but I was curious in it. I knew that you probably would be curious in it as well.
Do you have it with you?
No. Bevan is also a person who doesn't really remember as much, so
Sure,
I
sure,
gave-
sure. Bevan has it.
yes, so Bevan has it.
How
but
does it work? What do you
It-
do?
I imagine that you probably channel energy or look into it like very, very sternly for non-magic users, I suppose, but it does only work once a day. But that doesn't mean that
Once a
we
day.
can. So we can't use it today, but I'll happily tomorrow. Definitely, if there's an order to this, then you can definitely go before me.
I mean, congratulations. You've got me wanting to live one more day.
Oh well, I can change the order and make it 2 days.
Ah, I appreciate
She
that
just sits
for
and
a
smiles.
different reason. Like a real smile. Like right. We have a thing. Did Gabbro get a I care
Gabbro
suddenly?
was outside. If I saw, like, while Bevan was exiting, just outside. I think playing with the dog, having a good time. Dogs are very cute, so can't blame him. That's all I remember. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh.
and then she'll pull from like her pack this, and it's the blue cloak. It's for protection.
Ah.
I'm mostly okay with my own defenses, but I guess if they always say
Kasha.
that you should protect the healer first.
Yes, yes, you need to keep that for sure. That's
I'll
not a
take care of
question.
myself, but
Sure. but it's always good to have a little help.
Here I am. I think the grumpiness, whatever Gabriel called, does indeed spread. It's contagious.
Sorry. Not really. It is what it is.
So, magic time.
Yes.
Magic ritual time. Do you need my assistance at all, or
Just
making sure
in
you
the
don't
way that
die?
yes, that I did for you. Just I don't know what to expect. This is my first time. And I don't want to you said freak out?
Yes. Yeah, that has happened. That has happened, especially for spells, and I'm thinking this is for information, in case the information comes back bad.
Yes, information. If you could help me, the information doesn't come, I don't think, as clearly as yours did for you. This is an interpretation thing.
All right.
So we can talk about it after. I don't even know if it comes right away, but
I have a question for you, Saber. So,
Yeah.
what does your setup look like for your ritual casting? Do you have any symbols?
well, it's not actually a ritual. I think Cypher was very inspired by you. This is an instantaneous spell.
Amazing, I love that.
And yeah,
I think it can be cast as a ritual, just to be clear.
it can be.
I think so.
It
It's the
doesn't say that
R
in the
symbol.
description.
Canon.
Oh.
I like,
Lord.
yeah, like I like the idea that it's an instant cast spell, but Cypher has just gone through and created an elaborate ritual around it to
It's
make
very
it look
cute.
darker and cooler.
I mean,
I like darkness, Kaja.
I also just think it's really fun that he spent so much of his like first part of his adventuring roguing, and then like all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm a cleric now. I can only do cleric things, but he's like predestined to do roguey things.
He's also
Anyways.
hilariously like, I guess I can do cleric stuff too.
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe that what you are working on is castable as a ritual, and I am happy to say that you thought you were casting it instantaneously, and it turns out, oh, if I take my time with it, it actually like just happens.
It's
That's
better.
so weird.
Yeah, cool, great, love it. Player also learning spells used to not being spelly, so cool.
Yeah, but do you have any decoration about this? What does it look like?
Yeah, actually, a fun fact, for a different character, I made this blanket behind me.
Oh.
And it's actually got two sides. So it's got a purple side.
Oh.
And for that
But we like the black
character-
side.
Yeah, he likes, well, of course he does.
Yes.
But for the other character, it's actually a full bag, and it folds out to become the place where this character does their rituals. And on the purple side, and the black side just looks like a bag of holding from the other side. So it would look similar to that, but small, compact, where the cards were laying in, and I imagined kind of like a dark tarot card or some kind of ritual, not like a playing card deck, but that is laid out. And the cards are currently face down.
Cool. Tasha's just trying to scope out because you never told her what god your powers
Nope.
are from, and she hasn't to you. So
This is cleric chess.
yeah. Oh yeah. What does your god do? Huh?
Do you make any of that like expression known? Like, are you?
I'm probably like looking over and like being like a little obvious because I'm not stealthy. With like looking at things closely. So take that as scrutiny or being nosy, but she's looking at things and very intently.
Okay, so you're like mechanically above table. You're level 9 cleric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
like I feel kind of baby cleric.
Yes.
Am I doing something wrong? Did I lay them?
Oh no,
Is it
not at all.
backwards? What? Why are you looking at it like that then?
Oh, I'm just curious. What deity so miraculously got the infamous Cypher to be a follower? That's all.
Oh. Oh. Uh. Why don't you tell me first? What's your who got the best of you?
They didn't get the best of me. More like they're like, "Hey kid, would you like not to be, chased down by an unknown entity?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would rather not be chased down by some unknown entity." And also, I have nowhere to go because I have no parents. So it was a lot different. But
That sounds exactly the same.
does it really?
But yes, very much so. I mean, I don't know about the entity thing. Hey kid, that sounds so familiar.
Huh. Well, maybe they might be the same one, or all gods are the same. How about this? I will give you a hint.
Okay.
Scales.
Hmm.
And
No.
all my work, all of it, is to balance the scales.
Oh, those scales. I was thinking
not
of the
dragon
bow
scales.
and
Tiamat.
Yes, all this time.
Kaja. I don't use this word often, but I think there is some serendipity here.
I knew it. It feels nice to be right.
I feel somehow cheated. This is
I mean,
an odd
I wanted
feeling.
you to, reveal information on your own, but given the circumstances and the nuances of Kellenvor's many gifts, they can sometimes become in more what's the word? More offensive capabilities, or favor one side of the scale more than others. So it makes
Really?
sense.
I can't wait to learn more from you. I haven't had a tutor before, so
I'm happy to help, but don't expect any hymns. Not a fan of those. Sometimes some of the poems are really interesting. And for the love of God, don't call me any name, priestess, whatever. I would rather meet Kellenvor himself in the final resting place.
okay, well, kindred spirits then.
That works.
As
But
you
yeah.
guys
Speaking
have
of-
this exchange, the
Sorry.
the ritual is starting to finish its process.
Speaking of poetry, I think there's something that I need to say.
By all means, don't freak out.
That helps. Cypher's gonna say this in Thieves' Cant. To those who host foreknowledge, dear, make unto me thine intentions clear. In darkness light be shown, good or evil, make an omen known.
Finish. These Cant is an interesting language. It is both a physical and spoken language. And Kaja, I'm sure you've seen Thieves' Cant spoken. but this has a openness to it that is not something you associate with thieves' cant. Thieves' cant is what people say in the marketplace before they knock over a fruit stand. This has a truce to it, a directness that is not about an item, but about something much greater. Cypher, your words echo off the stones around you, and the wind catches for just a moment and flips 2 cards. The first one, a blossoming tree, a sign of good omen, where something must be buried deep beneath the earth in darkness to grow anew. But just as you see the branches of the tree, the other card falls directly over it. The silhouette of a raven flying. But in the middle, it is actually the bones of the raven laid out in the dirt. A sign of ill omen. Ahead of you is both a place that bears fruit for what you have been tasked with by divine power, a way to balance the scales. But with that comes the weight of your task, what you have to do, you and your friends, and what cost it might bring, but also what sadness comes with evening the scales, because death is not black or white here in the Hollow, as you have all seen. It lingers and waits, but that seed will never grow. Haver is not alive. These ghosts are just waiting to return to the earth. And there is sadness to that. But it is what you were asked to do. Not just by kings, not by memory, but by the hand that raised you.
I look between the 2 cards and then back up at Kaja. Scales. Huh. I thought this spell was meant to guide me one way or another. What do you think he's trying to tell us now?
It's unclear to me as well. What does make me remember that I think it was one of the earlier teachings about we shouldn't fear death nor view it as only evil.
I got the sense that, if anything, whatever path we were intentionally about to take feels like the right one.
Well, all we can do is embrace the fact that that might be an option, and if so, die with dignity.
Yes, I have the sense that one of us just might not return here. At least one of us.
May we honor them. Or, in the case, honor me, please, in my death. Sounds kind of morbid, but I did have a pre-written will that I took before we even got here, but I don't know if that's what other adventurers do, but I just don't want to leave the people in places of my family out of work, so.
I am happy to carry that for you.
That would be appreciated.
As I pack up,
Yeah.
Yes, let's go. Kaja, I just want to say that there are two sides to a scale. And it feels nice to know that you're here with me.
Likewise.
Downstairs. Gabbro. Thatch emerges from the watchtower, having imparted some important things to the rest of your party, and comes out looking for you.
Ah, friend Thatch.
There you are.
I was just rubbing down this goodest boy.
Oh, he is a very good boy, aren't
Yes.
you?
He came out to guard. He thought that perhaps I was an intruder.
You did disturb the earth.
I did do that.
Speaking of, I have an ask of you.
Of course.
And he pulls this cloak that he's been wearing that seems almost more like a wrap. And it has this slot that the tab pulls through. It's very like natural looking. It has a texture to it. And underneath it, as he pulls it away, you see that there's a stone about the size of a fist. The hole in the middle. And it has dug into it very intricately a leaf, a piece of wood, and a stone, like the pictures of the three. It is not necessarily an image of Sylvanas per se, just a emblem of the earth. And he holds it out to you. This was given to me by my parents as a way to guide me home.
Ah.
And I think it's no accident that you're here, my brother.
Certainly not. I'm confident there are no accidents.
Then good. Take this with you. Don't return to the earth too soon.
I certainly do not intend to. And I thank you. This is a kind gesture. I always appreciate a good representation of the earth.
You can always bring it back to me.
I shall. I sense that my work is not yet complete.
Wonderful. Does anyone else, Bev, we're going to get to you. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to do before they leave the watchtower this morning? No? Then just Bevan. Alone with the mirror. Pell, you have the mirror.
I skip out to him and, hey, Kaja got you a gift this morning. And
I know. And
No,
he
no,
tries.
No, she got you another one, and I pushed the mirror into his hands. You get it today.
I thought Thatch said we should leave it here.
He seemed open to other possibilities. We might stop here on the way back.
I mean, I just think if we're only going to get, if we might only get one chance to use it, I got a cool bow I get to use.
Well, what? Why not you? Because you might be from here?
I just never, I always tried to not worry too much about what happens like, before we met. I always felt like whatever my old life was, it was very brief and separate.
Well, I mean, we're kind of in the middle of it now. Might be time to start thinking about it. Although if you don't want me, I could probably take it back to Kaja. I mean, she's probably interested, and Cypher's probably interested in it. I mean, if you don't want it.
I mean, I'm sure. What if I find out something I don't want to know?
Then why are you here? Because every moment we're here, you might find out something you don't want to know.
He takes it from her. Doesn't, like, look towards it yet. Do you think I get to choose?
What do you mean choose? What you see?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I just think real hard about magic, and sometimes it happens, and I'm kind of assuming that's what this is going to be. So, I don't know.
He holds it up and looks into it. Tries to angle it so that Pell can see whatever's
Oh yeah,
about
because
to happen.
Pell's doing like a shuffle of like, do you want me to stay? Do you want me to go? She's like half leaving, but if you angle it, she's absolutely going to pop up over your shoulder.
Wonderful. Bevan, will you please roll me a d6?
Okie doke. That's a 6.
Wonderful. I love this. You both gaze into the mirror. Its silvered edges, intricately, beautifully made. And you see in the glass itself, there's etching. And it looks just like geometric rays pointing inward. But when you see the whole image, you stare into it, and Bevan, the longer you look, the deeper this mirror appears to be. And the rays that are etched in the glass become clearer. The face of a clock winding back as you stare into it. It's dark. Pitch black. You can hear your heavy breathing as you panically look around the brush. You knew the way out just a second ago. You just got your way in here. Home isn't far. Home. Not Lorch. You know in your heart it's not Lorch. A small shack high in the mountains. Quiet. Flashes in your mind for just an instant. A hand reaching out, brick red, long, beautifully manicured nails. And a woman with tightly drawn features, strong cheekbones, and erect, beautiful horns. with a chain hanging between them. Aaron reaches out to you, kisses you on the cheek. Home. But in the darkness, you've wandered and you just want to go home. You swear you remember how to get there. But the forest keeps shifting and changing. And in the darkness, you feel a hand reach out to you. And you should be afraid. But you're not. In it, in the shape of the shadow, in the long fingers that reach out to you, there's just the smallest breath of home. And the vision ends. That's where we're going to take our break.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
We're back in 15 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of our penultimate episode of Those Lost here on Mercs of Mischief. I am Kai, your Dungeon Bee Master. I am joined by our incredible party. We're going to go around. We're going to talk a little bit about the other fun places you can find us on the internet, besides here next week for our finale. And then we'll get back into our story. We're going to start with Jade.
Hey y'all, I'm Jade Valkyrie. I do lots of nerdy stuff. I'm a host, a producer, just general content creator person. Oh yeah, and I also do tabletop RPGs. Yeah, that's the thing I do as well. Yeah, so those are things I do. You can follow me, Jade Valkyrie, most places, and then here on Twitch, Jade Valkyrie with the 3. I type in chat, so you can just click on the button and it'll go to the channel, and you can press the follow button if that'd be cool. And I'm trying to find the link to the Dragon Talk episode I was on, but it looks like they haven't uploaded it yet, so I will upload it. I will send a link when they upload it. So yeah.
Please and thank you. Next is Puck.
Hello, I am Puck. Yes, that Puck. And you can catch me on Mondays when I do the other show, Last Light, a world of my own creation, full of ghosts and winter, and there are giants. It's a fun story. You might even see some people that you see here there, and you might even see me. You will see me. I'll be there. And you can also look for my other shows on Puck and Talk, my YouTube channel, where I do various things talking about the goings-on in the TTRPG world. You get a look into my twisted mind, like how I will expose this week that we do not, in fact, know what Rangers are in D&D.
Maybe you don't know.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
We do not know.
Look,
Don't tell us.
The entire argument must be absorbed in whole, and I think you may actually find yourself agreeing.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
I thought it was bullshit, and then I heard the argument, and I was like, okay, fair.
But Puck has such a soothing voice, I might just believe him anyways, even
That
if it's
might
a
be
load
it,
of crap.
too. That might be it. I'm not sure. I can't speak without bias.
Oh my.
I will uncover the truth that we don't actually know what a ranger is.
Cool. Well, on that note, Jonathan, button
Hi.
pusher extraordinaire.
I'm Jonathan. He, him. I play Bevan here. He, him. I played a lot of he, hims lately. Because over on the Monday game, I'm playing Trafer, who is he, himbo. And totally guys, he's underselling that campaign. We found an ancient magic robot. I mean, you might call him construct, but magic robot from an ancient civilization. We found it's
Eat a
like
dragon.
yeah,
Friend.
it's like
That's a friend.
if while pillaging pyramids at some point they had found a dragon with a working robot in it. I don't know what else to compare it to. So, go check that one out for sure. And I do other various things around the internet. Probably getting a little more into creating some solo stuff as these shows wrap up and we kind of go into our winter hiatus until our next projects come out. And speaking of which, make sure you're following the channel over on Twitter, as well as I don't know where are the best places to get news on our new projects.
Excellent. You may follow us on Twitter. You may click the bells and subscribe to us on YouTube. When you have the bell clicked, you'll get all the latest notifications from Mercs of Mischief. You can also follow our community page on our YouTube channel, where we post latest updates as far as in-development shows and new content that will be coming to you soon. Twitter is an excellent place to follow us. We give updates there regularly, as well as on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm also the producer here. Oh, I didn't mention that. Yeah, so if you're new here, I'm pushing buttons and making things move around and looking at 5 different screens. So if you ever notice me randomly looking different directions, that's what's going on.
It's a cat.
Or it's a cat causing problems. If you're a regular here, you know who that cat is. But hey, hopefully in the future you'll see less of that because we're looking for someone to kind of fill more of this role, and we have a fantastic candidate. But we gotta, talk to them more. So, anyways, moving on.
We're getting a substitute Pidgey, I see. Arcady, why don't you follow that one up?
Hello, I'm Arcady. You can find me over on my Twitter mostly, which is Arcady Koshka. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, all social media as Arcady Koshka. And I'm one of the people that you can see on Puck's Game on Monday nights at the same time. I think I'm going to viciously stab someone next week. That feels like where I'm headed.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a little murder.
But who?
But who? That, you know what? That is the ultimate question, is who am I going to murder in this game? Haven't decided yet. Tune in Mondays to find out. Otherwise, this week, you can find me Saturday, November 5th, over on Friends Who Roll Dice, where I'm going to be part of their 24-hour charity stream for Extra Life. I'm going to be playing Epillion with a bunch of very cool people. Epillion is a game where you play dragons, and specifically we're playing baby dragons. And I get to be like an oracular dragon who's like has dark magic and also empathy magic. It's going to be a very good, creepy, weird, but adorable mix. So I'm very excited for that. And also I'm going to table flip in a couple weeks. Yeah. I'm going to DM for the first time ever here for a couple lovely DMs. I can tell you 2 of them are on the screen right now. Kai and Puck are both going to be at my table. So I can get you dates and times when it gets a little bit closer. But now that I've said it out loud, I do have to do the thing. So I am going to DM in a couple weeks.
I was hoping you would mention that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, should I use this talk about a producer to segue into...
You set me up. No, I followed you. I picked up what you put down.
All right.
I've been here long enough to follow my producer's lead.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Table Flip before, go check out our YouTube channel because we have got a playlist going. I've done one. My first time ever DMing was live on screen for a bunch of DMs. We've had a few other people do them. We have a few other people.
Saber.
Who maybe will do them in the future. We'll have to see.
For those who don't know, Table Flip is a totally new DM who has never DM'd before. DM's a one-shot for a table full of veteran DMs, and they do it live on stream. So it's like the most intimidating first-time DMing you could possibly think of to kind of show that it will be okay. I'm going to probably be so nervous I puke before, but that seems to be par for the course.
Yes. And producing that is going to be not me. I'm going to be in the audience, in the chat, doing nothing but watching that show.
Wow.
Which I'm excited for.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited I might explode. All right. Then, Saber, why don't you round out our lovely players?
Sheesh, how do you follow that? That was awesome. Yeah, table flipping for this channel was a highlight of my career in this. I call it a career. Yeah, I'm going with it. I do art as well, side career, on Instagram at Saber_Sensi. And that GSA conference donation game sounds like it's going to be happening. Stay in tune for November 19th. It's a Saturday. Apparently, there's going to be a marathon of a bunch of table games for donations for that stream. So I will keep giving you more information as I get it. But right now, there's a meet and greet happening in 2 days, and I'll get more information then. So we'll hopefully next week is our last week. Hopefully have the information then. This has been so much fun. Thanks, Kai.
These are great characters.
Oh,
And this is
I
would love to do more of something in this world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This
Same.
is
I like
the
these
Hollow is fun.
characters. Yeah.
I'm having an absolute blast. First of all, before I talk about me times, everyone should stay with Mercs. If you haven't watched Puck DM, I don't know how you got here and are watching me on this channel before you've watched Puck. That just feels wrong. You guys should definitely check out Last Light and some of their previous campaigns as well. And if you guys are looking for fun places to hang your hat in the actual play space, Mercs is great. They're all lovely. And this channel has just been a joy to be on with all these wonderful people. I'm Kai. You can find me on all social media platforms as Stella Vimladris. It's in the chat. My Vampire the Masquerade game has ended, but you can find me in some upcoming projects, many unannounced things, but one of them just announced live in front of your very eyes. And I've got a few other games in the works that I've signed on to that are not announced. And then I also have my podcast that I've been producing that I am viciously editing now, from a group called The Lore Brewery. You can find us on Twitter under Lore Brewery. And we are going to be releasing 2 one-shots. One is a 2-parter, and one is a single actual one-shot. The first one is DM'd by me. It is a post-apocalyptic 5e adventure called Ashes and Dust. It's what happens when the world ends, and it brings magic with it. And then our second one is a game called Elf Crimes. It's a 1-page adventure written by Rascal Cat Games, who is a player in our game. And it is what happens when Santa's elves solve a crime. There's a much more elegant way to say it, but it's funny and crazy, and it's basically just full of as many holiday puns as we can shove into a single game. And yeah, you should check those out. Coming very soon for the end of the year. So hyped. But in the meantime, it has been an honor and a pleasure, and I cannot wait to take you all to the end of this particular adventure here in Hole in the Hollow, and maybe come back to it sooner rather than later. Don't forget, we do have our lovely token tip system. The tokens each go to 1 advantage roll for the players, 5 buys a flashback, which allows for the player to have an automatic success, and any accumulation of $100 goes into our chaos meter. And the chaos meter, if you guys do fill it up, gets to go to something fun for me. But without further ado, we're going to hop back in to the Hollow. Bevan.
Yeah.
The final flash of the vision clears, and you are back to just staring not at the specter of a beautiful woman, but at your own face and Pell just over your shoulder. Also, a glimpse of home.
Hey.
I knew I recognized that name. The tiefling woman from the council with horns like mine.
Yeah.
That's her.
Do you think there's any chance she's still around?
Bevan kneels down and puts his finger on the ground in his shadow and swirls it around. It's been around the whole time.
Your shadow clings to you here like it wants to envelop you. The sun is not bright like the fields out in Hull. And you know that if it were just a little dimmer, it could easily envelop you again. Darkness, a place that both holds foreboding and holds you, Bevan, closer than most.
She's the only reason I made it out of here. She's the reason you made it out of here.
I mean, so, yeah, not everything in here is bad then. Even if it's dark.
It cares about you, I guess.
Well, that's nice. Thanks? Thanks, I saved his shadow? Unsure?
I think not going too far to say we probably want to thank you.
Why?
You took me to a new home.
I mean, well, mostly that was my mom. I did just kind of like hide you in my closet for a couple weeks and steal you soup until mom finally found out, and like that wasn't a lot.
Well, I appreciate it.
So what now?
As you say that, Haver emerges. I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
Okay. The others ready to go?
I think unless anyone has any other business around the tower, then Thatch and Circo meet you at the gate and wave their goodbyes. Thatch being careful to remind you that this is also the way out, and he would very much so like to see you all again before you leave to know what happened. And he says a very long goodbye to Haver, knowing that Haver will probably not be among you when you all return.
As we depart, I'm going to cast my daily Gift of Alacrity, make it a twinning spell, touch Bevan, and touch me. So we both have 1d8 to initiative.
Great.
And then I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself when I'm done.
Good, yes. The road, as you guys have seen, and as Pell lightly inspected yesterday, winds up the side of the mountain, avoiding just going full blast straight up the hill, and makes its way to the eastern ridge and through a very narrow stone pass. But as it leaves that stone pass and begins to make its way across the front of the hill, the southern facing slope of the mountain, you all come out of this narrow road, and ahead of you, you see these massive stone walls, so much like Tear Haven, with large towers with little turret windows and spires that reach high up into the clouds. But unlike Tear Haven, which has whitewashed stone and shines brightly in the sun, as much sun as Hull gets, there's a gloominess and a decay to the walls of Isa. Black has saturated the seams between the stones, and there are places of just full decay where the stone has become sand in the 200 years since this city was kept up. The strangest part of all is what you were warned of in advance by Thatch. As you all approach the gate, you see, at first, you think it might be a trick of the light. The clouds here are thick enough that there are wisps that travel to and fro and just catch the light enough. You think, oh, just a passing shadow. But then you see it cross the front and back again. A guard keeping watch, transparent and ghostly. And then another. At the guard gate to Isa, stand still the watch of Isa. 200 years later, no body, but still there.
They seem to take any notice of us at all.
They stand at the gate and wait.
Hello?
Yeah, I think we approach. Also, can I say at some point on the walk, Bevan tried out drawing the bow?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys, I'm going to assume you all took your time and attuned to these objects. You draw the bow and you feel that you can either put an arrow in it, or if you draw the bow on its own, it does just shoot lightning.
Well, that's
stacked.
Gabber, you wave to these guards.
Hello,
and you see
friends.
A ghostly shape of a dragonborn. His long, pointed snout, with little tendrily beard hanging off of the bottom, looks to you and smirks. Hello!
We request passage into your city, friend.
What's your business in Isa?
We bring a messenger from Isa, returning.
As you motion behind you, Haver lights up. More alive than you've seen him the entire journey, even at his most lively. Fendir! It's me. And you see this dragonborn come running down the hill. Haver runs to meet him and they hug. And Haver goes to squeeze and his arms pass through this dragonborn. And Fendir, the dragonborn, doesn't even seem to notice. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you all morning. We thought you were still up at the tower. Why are you down here? I've been gone. No? You were, I just saw you maybe 2 hours ago. We did the watch check-in. You're right. You may resume your post. I have to go speak to the magistrate, if you don't mind. I'll see you at dinner. And Haver's shoulders slump.
As soon as the dragonborn is out of earshot, I would like to speak.
Yeah, of course. He turns to go back to the gate and it's already actually partly open, and you see him actually take the motion to reach through the gate and pull it open to where it is sitting currently.
Are we going to have to tell an entire city that they're dead?
Do we have to tell them?
I mean, I feel like it'd be wrong not to.
I think we just have to tell the magistrates they're dead, and then they tell the entire city.
I
I
think
don't
we
even know
need
if that will be necessary.
We
Go
need
back.
to destroy whoever is responsible for locking these people in this twisted this play of the past, and allow them to return and move forward, because this is sad.
And
How
then
do
my
you-
next conjecture is, what's to happen if we go to the magistrates and they are alive and everyone else is dead?
Well, then they will soon join their townsfolk for allowing this tragedy to unfold.
How do we know it's
As you
someone who's doing this?
It
How do we
is
know it's not
always
just-
someone?
It might just be a thing that needs to be fixed.
Then we shall fix it.
As you all are having this conversation, Haver has gone further uphill towards the gate and is talking to the other guard with the same earnest expression, this one more desperate. And while he is out of earshot, you see him hang his head again.
Our friend Haver
Figure
has
it
a
out
hard
as we
day
go
ahead.
along.
As we pass the gates, if I may,
Yeah.
I'd like to lean over to this dragonborn.
Standing there dutifully, watching the road.
Friend, it was my joy to escort Haver these last few hours, and he's become quite a good friend to me. I wish to bring him something at his watch one day, but he's always very quiet about his work. Can you tell me where he is normally stationed?
He watches over the magistrate's estate up in the Yaskira district.
I see. Is there a tower or a guard station there I should look for?
Can't miss it. Biggest tower in the city.
Excellent. Thank you so much, friend. And I move on with that information.
Yes, you all. Haver widens the door enough that all of you may enter the city, and ahead of you, the whole air smells musky, like long, over wet hay. The city streets in Isa, in this lower district, are muddy and full of decayed thatch and long abandoned bales of hay that have decayed into dust. You see barrels that have fallen apart with age, and basins and troughs that have long decayed, and the contents are empty. Haver walks into the city and looks around, desperate for anyone. And he walks into the main open center where the road begins to follow a crescent-like shape around the inner ring of the city. And as he steps away from you all, you see behind him, appearing from nowhere, a ghost come in and out of your vision as it crosses the road. And then another, and another, and another. The whole city still buzzing, but with unlife.
I happen to be pretty adept at tracking signs of fiends and undead. Do I see any signs of presence of either of these categories in the city?
Looking for undead, the place lights up like Christmas. Everywhere around you, behind you, in front of you, you feel the presence, almost oppressive, of undeath in the city of Iza, a place that was both dead and not.
I guess I'm looking for like zombie sign on the buildings and stuff.
Sure. I'm going to say roll a perception check.
Okay.
Looking for that zombie stank on some.
Yeah,
Zombie sign.
And you may add your zombie hunting ability modifier.
Great. I mean, that's a wisdom check, so I don't technically even get the advantage. I have a good old 7.
The city is full of death everywhere you look. I will say you do see skeletons. Lots of skeletons. Way more skeletons than you ever wanted to see in your whole life, just laying around in the streets.
Not
Tucked
moving
into
or
barrels,
anything though. Just
Not moving, just a little bit of everywhere. Kind of puts you on edge. Could be a bunch of undead things,
Ooh.
but you rolled
Okay.
a 7, bud.
important question. Are they in poses of like casual doing everyday stuff, or are they in poses of suffering?
I see that Kaja has something. I'm going to have you roll an
Okay.
insight check on the skeletons, and we're going to come back to you. Kaja.
Cool. So I like to do 2 things, but let me double check the length of one of these things. Okay, and it's an action. Okay, so I would
amazing
like to do
insight.
two actions. The first being locate creature, which I describe or name creature that's familiar to me and see if they're within 1,000 feet.
Uh-huh.
You know the creature I'm looking for.
Okay.
So that's the one thing. And then the other thing is to detect evil and good, but negate, or I think, would you be able to say that like if a person who is like level 9 can like make sure that she's detecting, like certain categories? So I'm thinking like not undead, but like fae, fiend, celestial, elemental.
I'm going to answer your first question, then I'm going to look at the language of the spell.
Cool. Or aberration. I think that's all of the categories of stuff.
Your first question, you reach out and the scales feel even on that measure for the moment. You are not within the range of your quarry today.
Okay.
Dungeon Master, while you read that, may I
Yes.
get back and speak to Kaja and Cypher?
Go right ahead.
Friends and Skullstaff, Dr. Kaja. This is going to be a very hard day for our friend Haver, and a concern has crossed my mind. What if we arrive at Haver's post and he is there?
Oh. Maybe we should ask Haver to show us their house first.
Well, I ask the two of you because you are versed in magics of the spirit and the body. Would there be a way to reunite them
And then she'll
if they are indeed separate?
she'll reach into her pack, and it has like types of undead, volume 4. And she'll go to the page on revenants. According to my research, basically is this character, more so because Jade does not remember. But it's just that. So he definitely was risen. So that body is the original body is our Haver, and then the spirit might be the other way. But the only other ways to dispel or to you know, and
It is possible that the Haver that we know is the body that died 200 years ago, and the Haver that is here is the spirit that was left behind.
yes, it's just. I
Neville,
just
I'm not sure
want to
your
know-
concern. What are you thinking is going to happen?
You cannot look your own death in the face, not long after it has happened. It will do things to you.
And
Kaja, go ahead and roll a Arcana or Religion check as you read your book.
yeah, because I'm piecing together a little bit, but also like, whew. I am not as smart as she is. We're gonna go with Arcana on this one, 25.
Wonderful. Revenants are notably souls that are forceful enough of purpose to return. Haver is both a zombie, but he's a zombie with his own soul in it because his soul really wanted to be here or someone really wanted it here.
Oh. And we know it's Haver's soul that's in Haver's body.
You know that there's a soul in that body that calls itself Haver, and you've seen now at least one person that knows that that is Haver in the face.
Okay.
It's weird to be on the
boy.
other side of this.
Oh boy. Because okay. So there's the theory that Haver just really, 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 really wanted to be here as a revenant. It has usually some type of unfinished business or so. It depends on whoever did it or if he did it himself. But there's also the possibility that a very, very, very vengeful soul went into Haver's body and is shrewd enough to disguise themselves as Haver. That one doesn't hold as much weight in my mind, but it is very scary. I think magistrates first,
Yes.
then we figure out that.
Right. I was told that his post is near the magistrates.
Yes.
Perhaps we distract him from that place, and I can go see if he is there.
But I do want you and the others close. I want us all to be there in case the magistrates are the problem.
We'll meet with them first, then.
Kaja, you cast your detect evil and good. I'm going to say that you can limit it. It's not that you wouldn't know the other ones. I think it would just give you all of them. It would tell you which one.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just tell me which ones you're looking for, and I'll tell you if they're nearby.
Literally anything that is not undead.
In the vicinity, no. It is
Okay.
only undead.
As we're walking towards the magistrate's office, I want to keep this concentration spell up. And I think it's
Okay,
10
great.
minutes.
Yeah. Bevan, you rolled a pretty good insight on skeletons.
Yeah, 21. I know what skeletons
scary.
want.
The skeletons,
Milk.
you look at them and you're wondering if they're about to spring up and try and kill you. This has happened before. It could happen again.
Rude.
And you remember the market where you met all of these people. You are standing in the remains of a great market just inside the city, not unlike the one in Tierhaven. There are people that were leaning over stalls, shopping with, carts and bushels, all just laid out like time stopped for them. A normal day left in ruins. And the ghosts are continuing that day. Haver is going and looking at every ghost that appears corporeal to him. And looking and trying to talk to them and pleading and calling names that you haven't heard before. He seems suddenly desperate.
friend. Haver. Just come up behind him.
They don't. They think it's still that morning. They still think it's the last morning I remember.
They are trapped. Forced to live out the same day forever.
These people died suddenly. This was Oh, go ahead.
It did say fiery portal, devils abound.
Not
Hardly
even like
stood a chance, probably.
it's not even like when they never knew anything was coming. When a creature knows it's about to die, it's not casually leaned over a fruit cart.
I don't remember getting this. Haver points to his face, still cracked.
I go over and I like put my arm through Bevan's elbow and quietly in chitter language, "Are you okay?"
I think I remember this place.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was a young boy. My mother, she took me to the city. I think there was some sort of parade, but
Dang.
I'm sorry, I had to.
So angry.
How many times have we gone to this?
All right, sorry. It was just like it hasn't changed. It was more alive, but there's been I don't think anything alive has come through here since then.
She know.
Yeah, your mom got you out somehow. Maybe there was warning. Maybe only a few people heard it.
She moved out way into the mountains. That was home. I didn't live here. Home was out in the wilderness on our own. Surrounded by, like danger from the woods, but away from this. From whatever she saw coming.
Do you think she was involved?
I don't know.
There could be another way or another possibility. And Kasha readies her weapon. The queen of Hole, of Tearhaven, knew about the devils. How did she get that information? Maybe someone was trying to get help for someone else's terrible mistake.
Or a mistake they knew they would have to make.
So some people knew before. It's not the common
s-
folk, it seemed.
Suspected, at the very least.
Suspected or not, the ones who disappeared from Thatch's tower group, those who died in the swamp, knew that they were going to die. They did not just disappear, and still their spirits linger. It is not what is haunting this place. What is haunting this place? It's a prison. Prison of the most heinous design I've ever seen. Forced to live in the past.
Forced to not live.
Well, let's find its jailer then, starting
Yes.
with perhaps the magistrates that are up there.
DM, can I try another knowledge from a past life history?
Sure, yeah. Let's roll me a history check and add your spicy things. You're a special boy.
Add my special thing.
Add your spicy things because you're a special boy. I think needs to go on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Add your spicy things,
Because you're a special boy. That's my DMing style in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Cypher.
Yeah.
You're standing in this city street, and it isn't unique in its construction or even in the layout. You've even been in some pretty run-down places. Runhaven's not great. You've been to some other pretty funky areas in the world at large. You have a vague memory of standing exactly in this square. The bright banners of the Protectorate of Bolsenia waving at the tops of the towers that you can no longer see. The Alluvium Ring, the place where the non-magic users live in the city of Isa, is a place for both good trade and a very good place to be a pickpocket away from the prying eyes of the mages of a magocracy.
Evan, you said you think you've been here before.
Vaguely, I would have been a very small child.
But you didn't live here.
No.
Is there any way that I could have any recollection of Bevan?
The chances are so minuscule, it's insane.
Did I have
Roll,
to see?
roll
Give
a
him a
D100.
D100 roll.
Yeah.
Give him a D100, DM.
Yes. Rolling a D100, the chances of this are a 1 or a 2.
Amazing.
That's
That's not it.
That's not it.
good try.
Quality ask, but not today.
Fair. Could you imagine?
Devin,
That'd be wild.
you've heard through this journey and through the pieces of what you guys have all discerned that Bolsenia was a magocracy. Not only are these magistrates that you're all talking about most likely powerful magic users on their own, but it means that Aaron, your mother, was also a fairly powerful magic user, as a magocracy is more about how much power you can wield than almost anything else.
If that's the case, Pell, you probably could have been a leader here.
Oh no, I don't think so. That's silly. Really?
I don't know, you dispatched beasts well-handedly.
I mean-
guess.
From what we've heard so far, it sounds like a lot of the politicians were two-faced, and you got miles above them.
Well, then I think I would be a very bad politician.
You got like 80 faces.
Yeah, but all of them are extremely earnest.
Haver.
Right, they are very earnest.
They are.
One of them is in fact named Ernest.
Oh, God.
Most important.
Haver makes his way to the great wall ahead of you where there is yet another gatehouse just slightly off from where the main gate to get into the Alluvium Ring is this one into the Arcanus Loop, the realm of study and discipline attached to magic and the study therein. The place just beyond the gate that is similarly tragic for Haver, with guards that he has known that recognize him and greet him. But none of them seem to remember. The Reflection Ward, a place of study and contemplation of magic. There are libraries and a few parks. There's a lot of open space here compared to the Alluvium Ring. And the ghosts here vary a little bit more. Many of them have marks of small lights inside of them. You can see their souls trying to will themselves with just their sheer force of arcane ability out of this cycle. You see more skeletal looking figures that seem to have aged but are still trapped in the same loop. And in the middle of a square, a little further in, is a figure that, unlike the rest of the people in this town that you have crossed, you see her eyes having been full of mourning for countless years, her face sunken and gaunt. She looks at you immediately as you all head up to the magistrate's home. Stop!
And
Hey.
why exactly should we do that? Is my thing still on?
This woman is glowing with undead. She is in front of you for a moment, and then you just blink your eyes, and she's suddenly even closer, almost face to face with Gabbro, as she pleads for you all to hold.
Hold. For what? Sure.
Who are you?
Do you remember who you are?
My name is my name's Elena.
That.
Are you
the name of one of
a friend of
Thatch's
Thatch?
friends. Yeah.
No?
Lana.
I'm Bevan, son of Aaron.
Aaron, what are you doing here? What did she do?
That's what I'd like to find out.
What are you all doing here? You have flesh and blood. You should leave.
We got a message from here. Our friend, Haver, he found us outside of the hall.
What are you doing here? And she points straight at Haver.
I stand in front of Haver.
You begin to hear her accusation as she points at Haver echo in the space, and just as you step in front of it, you cut off the sound, and it just resonates and dies in the space. But she was calling upon powers beyond just her voice. My name is Elena, and I speak for the lost of Isa. They have no voices.
We are here to free them.
Are you? Please.
There's nothing else that would give me more pleasure than to do so.
I'm an insight checker.
Absolutely.
Woo! I'm really good at this, and that's also a nat 20. A 20.
Heyo! You look over this woman, having taken a moment. Her hysterics do not flap you in the least. You've seen plenty of people in both real and false distress. Elena falls under the truce of that distress. A woman who has seen everyone she has ever loved and cared about, the city that she is a part of, die around her. And she genuinely believes that she is the only speaker of those who were lost.
And what exactly is your issue with Haver in particular?
He was sent by her.
She is.
Magistrate Praskovia Sella. That can't be right. The magistrate's our ally. She fights for Bolsenia. No. You do not remember. You're just like the rest of them.
Is she the one who opened up the fiery portal?
She made the deal. She sold all of these people and devoured what she couldn't.
Why would she send Haver out then? And I'm like puffed up like a little cat, hissing, like ready to go. All 5'6" of me.
Bevan
Doing
leans
that
slightly
bounce.
away from her. He's seen this before and doesn't want to be in the crossfire.
Yeah.
People who deal in souls typically are not satisfied. At least not easily. Whether it's on her end or on her deal's end. Might have need more.
She called the devils here. She thought she could win the war by cheating, by selling all of us, by destroying the very thing she wanted to save. And when that wasn't enough, she started to devour the lights.
And we will have words with this magistrate.
Is she as she was before, or has she taken on a new form?
She has changed. I do not dare go near her, or I would be silenced.
Then let us do it for you. That's why we're here.
And keep him away from her.
He brought us here. He wants this too.
If she's
This
to be
freedom.
responsible for Haver coming to be, then she might have some remaining control over him.
He was her lapdog.
My insight check.
Yeah,
Puffed
absolutely.
up and hissing. 19.
Hey. She
Pretty good people.
believes that Haver has a more nefarious purpose and knows something that she has not said about Haver.
Look, if you want us to believe you and help you, you do have to be completely honest with us, because we want to help, but we need to know everything in order to help, because we're new here.
He died like the rest of us. The hells opened, the archdevil called us. The world burned. And then I saw him leave the city a month ago. Walking with flesh and blood like the abomination that he is.
What makes you think she did this then, and why so long?
I'm the only one in this city that remembers anything except for the magistrate.
That's slightly ironic that you're taking swings at Haver because he's the only one who got up and grew flesh, but you're the only one in the city who remembers anything. So what's special about you then?
Roll a persuasion check.
22.
Hey, Pell's really good at this, guys.
Oh,
I'm great at
yes.
this. This is what I'm statted for.
Good persuasion. Good persuasion.
Good persuasion and good pew pew.
Persuasion.
Praskovia Sella was a friend. She was an ally to the protectorate. She was a talented mage. And then, when I tried to stop her, when I tried, she cursed me with the worst thing she could imagine. A cruel and heartless thing. Memory.
With all due respect, is it at all possible that she cursed him too? With the worst thing imaginable for him?
I guess you'll have to find out if you're so set on bringing her pooch.
What about Aaron? What part did she play?
Aaron. Huh. We're gonna see what she knows. We're gonna see what she can see. Ooh, she's got good perception. Oh! Huh. Aaron left the city a long time ago. I mean, obviously everything's a long time ago now, but interesting. You look just like her. You grew up to look even more like her. Aaron doesn't live in Iza. I hope this means that she got away. Her and the Halls were having a disagreement about how magic should be studied. So she left. If you want to know what happened, I would say go check out the Halls of Imperial Knowledge, but I believe that Praskovia destroyed them.
I do have a question for you. Tasha will pull out one of her other notebooks, the one that she used after her scrying session, to pull a rough drawing of the creature, the devil that she saw. Does this mean anything to you?
Why?
I'm seeking to destroy it, but information about it would help my quest. And I have the inching feeling that your ire and what you want and what I want could be the same thing.
I've seen that creature. One of the only living things to come and go from Iza in the last 200 years. The Nabasu, I believe it's called.
Nabasu.
An untrustworthy fellow, for sure. Doesn't really give me much attention since I can't give him anything. My soul is owned, by an archdevil.
And what is the name of this archdevil?
Moloch.
Moloch.
You think that the Basua, if I'm saying that correctly, is friends with your terrible other friend?
I would call him an emissary at best. A henchman, not unlike that one. And she looks to Haver again.
So both answer to Moloch.
All right, then. So, Nabasu, Moloch, Magistrate, we've got 3.
Any chance that the name Moloch means anything?
Roll an Arcana or History check. Tell me which one.
I like to help if it's Arcana, or actually if it's both, because I
already
would-
get advantage on
Yeah.
this. So if
Yeah,
you want to do
never
your
mind
own
then.
roll, that might
I
be
will
a
allow
better
you to roll
idea.
your own roll, Kaja.
What? Not fucking animal. Like, I don't know.
Animal
Why are you-
handling, what?
Animal-
What
I don't
animal are you
know.
holding?
I'm deceased. I got a 25.
Jesus.
Way better
That
than
is-
mine.
You're giving me a lot of 19s.
Not mad about it. Bevan, you've never heard the name Moloch before.
I didn't
Kaja,
get the family Bible.
you are extremely well read. And first of all, with that roll, you know that there has been studies of a Nabasu before. Not here, not this one, but it is a known kind of demon. You haven't done a lot of reading on them. It's not something that's really been in your sphere because the suspicion has been hags and a bunch of other things, but this is a very specific creature, an insidious shadow devil who likes particularly to devour souls. As for Moloch, you've heard of Moloch. Moloch is a very powerful wheeler and dealer in the world of souls. In fact, Moloch has been rumored to walk in the prime material with a lot of power that no one quite knows where it came from.
Good. I have 2 questions, voice.
Okay.
Number 1. Why does Moloch keep you all here? Is this like a jewel case for him? If you all belong to him, why does he maintain you in this form? Why repeat a single day over and over again? Is he just that much of a sadist?
I mean, he is a devil.
True, but most
I'm
devils
sorry.
thirst for power, and I see.
We are his power. Or do you not know how souls work in the hells? If he owns us, no one can touch us as far as they're concerned. And we don't need to go anywhere, so he can't lose us. We stay here because it amuses him and because Proscovia made a deal.
Excellent. That answers my question. I'm going to make sure this isn't funny anymore for him.
Good. And while you're at it, if you could turn her floating head to dust, that would be great. Thank you.
Wait, who's what?
Floating head?
I told you she's different.
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting her to be the Nabasu, but that was not what I expected at all, really.
Does anyone ever expect floating heads?
One hopes not to.
Well, now I do.
Does anyone else look familiar here? Was anybody else from around town? just a quick aside.
Yeah.
Just
Just a little like, huh? Anybody?
everybody line up.
Batman kind of does one of these like points over at Cypher.
She looks over all of you. Cypher, what have you been up to during this whole conversation?
Honestly, I've been very preoccupied with looking at things. I'm trying so hard to stay focused on the conversation, and I get distracted. And then I turn back, get 3 or 4 words, and get lost looking at a flag, like I'm stuck.
And that is true. You've been seeing pieces of this both in your waking right now, but ahead of you, not far above the reflection ward, in the highest level of the city, stands a great tower that overlooks the city. That now you can all see from where you are standing in this fairly large open park area with a ghost woman yelling at you. And
Ma'am, calm down. That's good.
listen, she's the Karen of ghosts. I came here with a mission. Cypher.
That's the part that I heard.
The tower above you is oddly familiar. You had a dream of it just the other day. At the top, there is a giant bell hanging, waiting to signal oncoming war. And the sign of fire up the side. The woman, Alana, stops and looks Cypher right in the face. She smiles. Don't you look different?
Different. What do you mean?
You look very familiar to me.
How familiar does she look to me?
Go ahead and roll a history check with your special boy powers.
24.
Ooh, buddy. You look at this ghostly figure, gaunt, both decayed looking and beautiful. And the darkness behind her eyes is filled in your mind with bright green eyes, long, half-elven ears, beautiful jewelry, a large orb always clasped in her hand, a powerful mage with the might, the height of her power. Alana, you have definitely seen before, but it was so long ago and you cannot quite place why you stood in a hall with women, plural, of such power. You see her, and you see another half-elven woman. Beautiful, cunning. Magistrate Prascovia Sella, lording over you, reminding you that theft is punishable, but we'll let you off with a warning because we don't want to cross the others today. You've spent quite a bit of time in Isa, weaving in and out of the powerful with a little bit of a pass for your odd behavior, your skilled, nimble fingers. You yourself were once well connected in this city.
You know or think I was involved or somehow responsible for any of this?
You weren't here. I hadn't seen you for a very long time. Honestly, I didn't think of you very much after you left, but
Harsh.
strange to see you now. Whole. That was so very long ago.
I'm just wanting to put the pieces together. And this, everything that's happened here, is so unbalanced and wrong.
Then straighten the scales.
I plan to. And I'm not alone.
Scovia has a horde waiting up there to guard her. Approach carefully.
Any other advice on how to combat this horde? What works, what doesn't work, what we can do?
She has a gift with corpses. You figure it out.
Is this place safe to gather ourselves before we continue? Will you allow us that?
I'll keep watch, as I always do. I would take the garrison path. He knows how to get there.
Much appreciated.
And as you all are watched over by the speaker of those who are lost in Isa, gathering yourselves for a confrontation, for sure, at the Magistrate Proscovia Sella's abode. That is where we're going to end our session tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Of Those Lost for our penultimate episode. Join us next week for the finale, where we see what happens when you make a deal with archdevils and then you decide to still eat souls after.
Smash them.
Heartburn.
I've been Kai, your Dungeon Bartholomew Master. I'm going to send it around one more time so everyone can say goodnight. Jade.
I've been Kaja. I've been playing Kaja. She, they. I'm Jade. She, they. And I'm really excited because I feel like in this in-between rest moment, Kaja has out all of her little books. Okay, this is how to defeat a skeleton. This is how to defeat a standard zombie. She's just going resistances, weaknesses, immunities. We're going over all of that.
And with
I feel
that
every time you
tutelage,
hold one up, it's and I hit him with my mace. And I hit him with my mace.
Radiant damage.
radiant damage. And with that tutelage, you all level up to level 10. Congratulations on your final level up for the campaign.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Yeah. So in case your character is I don't know to do anything about the undead.
Which
you
ones
use
can I
excuse
burn?
Of Kaja. Probably not
All
the
of
devils.
them. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't.
Most
burn
things
the devil.
die when you burn them, Bevan.
Not me.
Extremely valid.
Canon
Said-
interaction.
I said
Yeah.
most things, Bevan. No one would ever burn you.
That is untrue. He has definitely been on fire before in his existence.
Oof.
Puck.
Hi, I'm Puck. Good night, everybody. I've been Gabbro, and I thirst for generic vengeance.
Hey, but now you have a friend in your generic vengeance.
I do have a friend in my generic vengeance and restoration. Look, it's vengeance first, environmentalism afterwards. It's the poison ivy path, and it's
Not mad about it. Wonderful, Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan, he, him. I play Bevan, who has everything he needs out of this. So he'll catch you guys later. Good luck. I'm out.
Look, we didn't all have magical moms to save us, Bevan.
You know, I'm also the producer here, and I'm also wondering, is he 200 years old? Was he reawakened? Do I really want to think about that? Probably not. Hell.
Figure it out. You don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pal. Katie.
Hi, I'm Arcady. I played Pell, who's very happy to be here and feels like, you know, we did our job. I'm with Bevan. We got Haver to Issa, and we're good.
Go.
Good. Good luck with the demons, guys.
Ooh.
Give my greetings to
City
the giant hat.
Floating head. Floating head.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Pell's like 90% checked out, but 10% floating head. She's real intrigued by the floating head. She might want to stay and see the floating head.
Floating head changes the math
Sounds
a little
kind of
bit.
cool. It does.
Just
I
remember-
was like, oh man.
If it also has
This is
giant
starting-
hands, you gotta hit the hands.
High five.
This is starting to sound like Cypher's friends are all leaving him.
I'm not leaving you.
Oh, phew.
So much undead. It's like
especially-
my job description.
Now that Grumpy Boy has leveled up to the special boy, I'm sure we want to see a little bit more next week. I've been Cypher, and I've been loving it, every second of it. This is an amazing adventure. Thank you so much, Kai.
My absolute pleasure. It's going to be so hard to close this out, but I'm so excited for you guys to get to the end, since that's originally why I wrote this adventure, was because I was so fascinated by this idea of Proscovia Sella, who sold a kingdom to an archdevil.
Madame Leota. Like, that's
Yeah.
all I can think.
Well, on that note, good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role-playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles. Maybe it's just me, but you guys won't.
No, we won't.
You guys just don't.
No, we don't.
Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you find the weirdest other things to do. There was adventure, but you guys wouldn't venture. Instead you said the mountains looked real nice. Middle of winter, you went to the hinter, lands of permafrost and frozen ice. You hid from every danger, you wizard, rogue, and ranger, and found the perfect alley for your quest.